Hello there. Now we're going to talk about recovery from bulimia. So if you've looked at one of my other clips, you'll have heard that I understand an eating disorder to be an eating disorder mechanism. So basically what happens is there are holes, there are voids in the person's psychic defenses, and so the body sets off one of the eating disorder mechanisms in order to fill in those voids. So with bulimia, it's the actions of binging and purging. But it doesn't necessarily need to be a binge. It can also just be ordinary food, because what happens, as I explained in the last clip, is that it's like a blank sheet of paper and the food is dropped onto that piece of paper. So in order to recover, we want to reverse that process. So we want to take the flour of the bulimia and the closed flour of the healthy self and just exchange. So in this way it's about an exchange of energy. So we close down the eating disorder mechanism, the strength in the eating disorder mechanism, and we open, we cause a regrowth in the person's, what I call the person's healthy self. So this is obviously a process. So we've got the idea that during the day the person is carrying on their work and it's building up and up and up until it comes to the point where the person cannot do anything but purge. And you know, even frail people are enormously strong if they want to purge. People learn to get out their way. So there's a great deal of energy in the eating disorder mechanism. So we want to start to shift this process so that rather than the person's day being like that, where it's building up and then suddenly there's the bulimic purge, it's more like a normal day where the person just gets up, gets through the day, enjoys the day and the evening and goes to sleep. So that's what's happening. With the person who's bulimic, it's like that, it's like a cycle. And with the person who just has an ordinary day, it's like that. So it's about changing the way in which the person views their day. Now, if we can just remember that everything that you do, so you make a phone call at work and then you have a difficult meeting, everything you do like that, there's an invisible voice, that voice of the eating disorder mechanism, which is saying, well, that was distressing, so I'll just take a bit of energy. Oh, that was distressing, I'll just take a bit of energy. And then it says, well, the way to get rid of all this energy is to have a purge. And then the person feels okay. So they think that purging is a good idea, but of course it's not, because it just starts another cycle of the purging. So what we want to do is move that energy back into the healthy self. So if a person has a problem with making a phone call at work, if that becomes really distressing for them, that's the point to work on. It's only a phone call. What do you need to say? What do you need to get across? How do you feel when you finish the phone call? Can you give yourself a tick for having done it? In this way, you start to take the energy back for yourself. You start to take control of your own life back. And when that happens, the energy starts to come back from the mechanism. You can also do, in fact, I always suggest to my clients, and they have very good results from it, that you actually negotiate with the mechanism, so that when you hear that voice that says, wouldn't it be nice to go to the loo and throw up, or can't wait to get home because when I get through the door I'm going to be throwing up, to hold those thoughts and say, hold on, this isn't helping me. How am I going to enjoy my life when my whole day is about eating and throwing up? It's just not what I want. I want you to give me back that energy. I want you, mechanism, to give me that energy back so that I can live life for myself. So it's a real regrowth. It's bringing the energy back into the healthy self. And I hope those thoughts about bulimia have been helpful.